Jake Paul defeats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What an absolute disgrace Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is to the sport of boxing. What a disgrace he is to his father's name. What a disgrace he is to what his father gave him, the platform that his father gave him. And he does that. He does that. He does drugs, drinks, does everything, loses to Jake Paul. Humiliates himself in front of a worldwide audience. Former world middleweight champion loses to Jake Paul. You can't write it. You can't write it. What a disgrace and embarrassment he is. Honestly, what an absolute joke. Out of everyone Jake Paul has beat, that is the biggest disgrace. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. should be absolutely ashamed of himself. Absolutely ashamed. Honestly. He deserves no credit for that whatsoever. He deserves no respect for that performance whatsoever. He has ruined, single-handedly ruined everything. Ruined the legacy that he had by fighting these MMA fighters, by fighting Jake Paul and losing. He's literally ruined everything his father gave him. Ruined absolutely everything. The platform that he was given, he's absolutely ruined everything. He's now a meme. He's now an embarrassment. That is all there is to say. Jake Paul did what he had to do. Dominated behind the jab. Got tired. Was there for the taking. Chavez Jr. threw a bit. The commentators are like, wow, wow. But then nothing happened. Overhyped it. And then when Chavez Jr. thought he won round 9, he said with his hands in the air, celebrating he won the round. And then commentators are like, oh, give him the round, give him the round. Shut up. What credit are you giving Chavez Jr. there? Why are you giving him credit? I should never understand. The commentary for that was an absolute joke. An absolute joke. Chris Mannix on commentary. Jesus Christ. He is painful to listen to. My word, he painful to listen to. Why those commentators were giving Chavez Jr. credit? Do they not know he was a former world champion? Do they not know who his father is? Do they not know him? Have they ever watched him fight before? Do they think he's one of these MMA fighters who just came over? Because he's not. He was a former world-class fighter. A former WBC champion. And Jake Paul has beaten him. And he's 39 as well. You'd still expect a 39-year-old man who was a former world champion to beat Jake Paul, who's had over Chavez Jr., who has had over 60 fights. Couldn't beat Jake Paul. Couldn't beat Jake Paul. He's had over 60 fights. I don't care if he was doing drugs. I don't care if he was drinking. He should have still came in tonight and beaten Jake Paul. I knew he'd lose. I knew he'd bottle it. So it's not like I wasn't expecting it. I knew he'd bottle it. I knew he wouldn't win. He didn't throw a thing really until round 9. What a joke of a performance it was from Chavez. And Jake Paul was just countering him with the jab. Jake Paul countering a pro boxer, a former world champion with his jab. Jake Paul countering your jab with his jab. What has the world come to? What has the world come to? Honestly, what has boxing came to? There are so many questions to be answered. Look, Jake Paul was massive compared to Chavez Jr. But Chavez had no skill at all in there. How did you suddenly lose all your skill? You've just never seen it before, really. I bet you Carl Froch would be able to come out of retirement and fully put it on Jake Paul. He might not win, but he'd do something. Of course, like Carl Froch is what, like 45 now or something like that, and he'd do a way better job than Chavez, who's not even 40. His dad would have came out of retirement and done better than what Chavez Jr. just did. And his dad's about 70 odd years old, and he would have done better than Junior. I'm being serious. He probably would have. He would have given it a good go. Put it that way. He would have given it a good enough go. Chavez Jr. was there just trying to cover up, and Jake Paul was still able to whip in his backhand around and catch him on the temple. Many times. Many times. Look, the thing is, I'm not here to rant at Jake Paul, really. I'm just here to rant at Chavez Jr. because he's a disgrace. Jake Paul just gone out. He's a businessman. Just did whatever. Fine, whatever. I mean, look, we'll talk about Jake Paul. He's improving. His jab improved. But again, it's easy to look like that against someone who's not throwing back. It's easy to look like that. It's easy to look like you've got an improved jab. It's easy to look like you've improved technically when you're up against someone who isn't doing anything. It's easy. And you can still see, though, he was very clearly there for the taking. He's there taking his feet off the ground, wildly throwing, leaving himself really open for the right hook. And Chavez threw it when he wanted to, when he could be asked. But he can't really be asked to do anything, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Honestly, he's got one of the worst attitudes I've ever seen. Wow, honestly. It's an absolute joke how bad his attitude is and how badly he's actually ruined his career. He sucked the living daylights out of his career and just out of his life. Honestly, like, for real, it is honestly shocking. But look, for Jake Paul, he's improving technically, I guess. He probably is. He's just got yes men around him, but his power is non-existent, really, though, if we're being real. His power's overhyped. It's all these YouTube fan guys who overhype the power of Jake Paul and stuff like that and class him as a power puncher when he's not a power puncher at all. But he's not really a boxer, is he, though? Like, again, he's able to say, oh, I beat Mike Tyson, I beat Chavez Jr., two former world champions. But Mike Tyson was 58. Chavez Jr., 39, though, and somehow it's just like that. It's shocking. It's shocking how it's happened. But Jake Paul wins. There we go. He won 9-1 in my opinion. Yeah, there we go. But what a disgrace Chavez Jr. is. Honestly, shocking.